Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to look for the z-axis of the player. So let's start the game. So over here, we can attach to the game. And the scan type initially is float. Value type is float. And the scan type is unknown initial value, because we don't know what is the value for the z-axis, z coordinate. So what we do is we just go ahead and do a first scan for all the unknown values which are of type float. Alright, so now you've got a long list. So let's go and trim it down. We will step on top of an object, for example this object. So when we step on it, our height increases. So we go back here and change the scan type to increased value and click next scan. Okay. And see, we have reduced it by quite a lot. Next thing we do is we come back to the game and we step off the platform. So when we step off, our height decreases, and now we go back and we look for scan type, decrease value, next scan, and reduce further. Alright, so other tricks you can do is we can now walk around, just walk a little bit and then come back here, and then next scan type is look for unchanged value. This will delete out we will filter out all the x and y coordinates, because when you are walking on the horizontal plane, the z coordinate doesn't change. So next scan, and we have removed all the x and y coordinate, leaving only the possible z coordinates. And we can continue to click next scan a few times and you keep on reducing. Now it's down to half. Next scan again, down to 19. Next scan again, down to 17. Then we can go back, step on the platform so that our height is raised, and then come here and look for increased value. Click next scan and reduce it by half. See that? Right, and then now you can step off the platform, so our z coordinate should be reduced. Now we look for decreased value. Next scan, and it reduced even more, down to 2000. And then now we can walk in a horizontal plane a few steps, and that should remove even more false positives. So first set to unchanged value, next scan, and it's down to 800 something. One more time and it's down to 300 something. One more time and it's down to 312. Okay, so now we walk around, step on the platform again, repeat the same thing. This time go for increased value, and then click next scan, down to 91. Alright, so now we step off the platform, come down, and now look for decreased value. Decreased value, next scan, and we're down to 61. Now we walk around, come back here and change this to unchanged value. Next scan, we're down to 20. Alright, so now we can add all these 20. We use the freeze method, add all this to the cheat table, and then we'll use the binary search. We will freeze half of this. So what we do is we go down to half, and then we sorry, we select the first half, select the first one, and then press shift and hold down, select the last one and press the spacebar. When you press spacebar, you toggle the checkbox on and off. So now we are freezing these addresses for the z-axis and see whether we can jump. Try to jump. You see, we can't jump. We are stuck. That means the other half we can delete. So we delete the other half by selecting here, press shift key and hold down, and then click on the last one, and then right click and delete. Delete. So you're deleting half of it. Now out of this, we do the same thing, binary search. We uncheck half of it, and then we see whether the freeze part here works or not. So come back here and jump, and we can jump. That means we can delete this first half, because the freeze here has no effect. That means it's a false positive. So we delete this half. Alright, so out of this remaining, we can check half of it, remaining the other three unchecked, and try to jump. We can jump. That means these three are false positives. Even though we freeze, you can still jump. So we can delete this, and now just check one of it. See, we can jump. We can jump. So the first one is not it. Check the second one. We can, yeah, looks like we are stuck. That means the second one is the correct one. Now we check the third one and uncheck the second one. We can jump. That means the correct one is the middle one. So we can delete the other two. So this is how we use the freeze method to filter out false positives. So just to check, we can jump. So now we check it, freeze it, and we cannot jump, we are stuck. Alright, so now we have this, we can put an arbitrary value, double click this and put something big, maybe 30, and we are on top in the air. See that? We are very high up. Okay, so that's how we can float or fly or teleport just by changing this value. Now this value is not the ultimate static pointer. This is a dynamic address. So we want to scan for a static address. We can do a pointer scan. So we right click this and then go here, and here we can generate pointer map. So we have a pointer map. We can save it here, maybe as first scan, call it scan 1, in our desktop game hacking folder. Okay, so we got a pointer map for that. Now we'll close the game and reopen, and we get a second address to generate the second pointer map following the technique that I taught you earlier. So we close this game. So let's try again. Okay, so we restart the game again. Alright, so now since we restarted the game, we can attach to it. Keep the current address list, yes. Keep the current address, and we go for a new scan, and first we go for unknown initial value. First scan. Right. Now we will walk up something, a platform, this platform maybe, to increase our vertical height. And then now we'll go and click increase value. Right, now we walk down, step down, and now we scan for decrease value. Okay, then we walk around a few steps. Make sure you're not stepping onto anything, and then search for unchanged value. Alright, continue to walk around and scan again for unchanged value. Okay, continue to walk around diagonally so that we get both X and Y, and then click on change value again. Alright, now we're going to step back on the platform to increase our height and scan for increase value, and then here click next scan. Alright, now we step off the platform and walk diagonally, and then here select scan for decrease value. Alright, so come back here and walk diagonally, and here we scan for unchanged value. So we're down to 212. Continue to walk diagonally. Next scan, unchanged value. Okay, we are down to 123. We can add all these to the cheat table. Now we will scan the first half. We will freeze the first half. Click on the first one here, and then not this one. This was from a previous scan. This is a previous scan where we generated the first map, and I've labeled it as for PTR map 1, and you should do the same. Alright, so now we select the one which we just added to the table, and we press spacebar to freeze it. Try to jump, and we can't jump. That means the first half is correct. We delete the second half. Alright, out of this first half, we uncheck the half of it. See if we can jump. We can't jump. That means the second half is the false positive. Let's delete it. Out of the remaining one, we will uncheck half of it again and see if we can jump. Okay, we can jump. That means the other half is a false positive. We can delete the other half. Okay, out of the remainder, we will freeze half of it. See if we can jump. Okay, we cannot jump. Therefore, we delete the other half. Out of the remaining, we uncheck 3 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, okay, leaving 3, and see if we can jump. Okay, we can't jump. That means this 3 is false positive. Out of this remaining, we uncheck 2 of it and jump. We can jump. That means it's not the first one. Check the second one. We can jump. That means it's not the second one either. Check the third one, and we can't jump. So that means the third one is the correct one. So we can delete this and this. Alright, so now we have found this one. We are going to generate a pointer map for this. So let's check first. Let's give it a big value to see whether we can fly up to the top. Yes, we have teleported to the top. Correct. So now we can generate a pointer map for this as well. So we call this for PTR map 2. Alright, so now we are going to do a pointer scan. Right click this current point address. Right click the current address and click generate pointer map. And we call it scan 2. Okay, scan 2. Alright, now you have 2 pointer maps. Okay, now that we have the second pointer map, we have generated the second pointer map, we can go ahead and right click and pointer scan for this address. And then here, you check on the first one, use save pointer map, and choose the current one, which is scan 2. And then here, you can maximum level, maybe 5 should be enough. And over here, compare results with other pointer map. And here we open the file and we select the earlier scan, which is scan 1, and then choose from the address there, this one, and then click OK. And then he's going to find a place to save it, so he can save it here, call it PTZ PTR. I have done this before, that's why the file is there. Click save, click yes, replace it, and now you have some result. Alright, so out of this result, we have 293 results. You can add all of them to the cheat table if you want, or we can try to reduce the list by supplying the last offset. The last offset should be 3. Okay, we don't know what's the last offset, so to find the last offset, we can right click on this one and find out what accesses this address, and walk around a little bit, and then you will see we got the addresses. Click on stop, and you can see the offset. The last offset is 3C. Okay, so we know that we can now reduce, trim out these false positives by supplying the last offset. So go to pointer scanner, rescan memory, address to find. Okay, you specify this address, this one, this address. So just select this address here, copy this address, and then come here and punch in the address here, paste it here, and here you must specify the last offset, which is 3C. Click OK, and save to overwrite the earlier result, and now you're down to only 3. See that? Found 3. So add all 3 to the cheat table. You have 3 possible static addresses. Alright, so now the test, which is the right one, so we don't know. So what we do is the type should be float, so we change it to float. Sorry, we changed the wrong thing. The type should be float. This is float here. Alright, so this one, the type should be float, not bytes. This one should be float as well. Alright, so you got 3 possible ones, right? So the ultimate test is to freeze each one of them in turn and try to jump. Okay, this is the correct one. You cannot jump. So now we test the second one. Try to jump, also correct. And now we go for the third one. Freeze it. Try to jump, also correct. That means you have 3 possible ones. Alright, so we will try to differentiate it. So we call this PTRZ1 ZPTR1. The second one we call it ZPTR2, and the third one we call it ZPTR3. Alright, so in order to filter out this even further, we restart the game. So we close the game, close everything, and then restart the game. Alright, so now we come here, attach to the game, keep the current list, yes, and we freeze the first one and try to jump. We cannot jump. Okay, the first one is correct. Uncheck it, check the second one, freeze it, jump. Oh, we have more than one correct answer, which is good. Both, that means all 3 is correct. We can use any one of these 3 as the static Z coordinate for this game. Alright, so the first 2 we can delete now, we don't need that anymore. Right, this is meant for purposes of generating the temporary pointer maps, but I just leave it there. So you need to save it, so remember to save, and save the cheat table as number 5. Cheat table number 5. Click save. Of course, I'll provide the cheat table for you to download as well, but you should try on your own to go and create all these static addresses on yourself rather than just rely on the cheat table. Okay, so that's how it's done, how you use knowledge of 3D coordinates and how to use pointer scan in order to fish out the coordinates for the player. And you can use this now to levitate, to fly, or to teleport right? This is for the Z coordinate, right? If you wanted to do the same thing for the X and Y, you can also use the same methodology which I showed you. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.